to week 11 of DMD100, Intro to Digital Media Design. All right, so what are we doing this week? Let's take a look at the week 11 module, see what's going on here. All right, so we have a few things. You have a week-long project to work on, another media analysis. This is media analysis number 3. This one's going to be focusing on movies. You can either work in a small group, a pair of people, a couple of people, a few people, or you can work on your own. Just make sure everybody turns in their own analysis, but you're going to deconstruct, analyze, and document the given piece of media. Now, the media analysis for this week, like I say, it's all about movies. So as you can imagine, the questions that you're going to be responding to in your analysis of the movie are specific to films, and so here they are here in the different categories. Sort of first response, what was your initial impression of the movie? Talks about the structure of the movie. There's a few questions on that. There's a bunch of questions about the characters that appear in the movie, the aesthetic or sort of the visual look of the movie, and the world views that the movie demonstrates, sort of like what is its perspective on life, the world, etc., etc. Now, the movies you can pick from are right here. These are all available for free on YouTube. There's a number of them dating from 2008 up through 2018. You can watch any of these you would like. Check them out, see what you like, what you don't like, and choose one of them to watch, okay? And then, of course, once you've watched it, normally I say with these analyses, watch it once for fun, watch it again to take notes, but given the film's are a little longer than sort of looking at a piece of artwork or whatnot, maybe just watch it once and sort of take notes as you're going. This might be a good one to work in pairs or in teams, so you can each sort of keep an eye out for different things that appear in the movie that would help you respond to these questions. Okay, so that is a week-long project, like all of our media analysis are. The other thing this week is you have a consumable under Read, View, Listen, Do. We have a video. Again, we are showing about Saul Bass and his title sequences. You guys are working on the draft for your title sequence. And so a little bit more about Saul Bass and his style of title sequences, as he is sort of the beginning point of what we consider to be motion graphics, title sequences, etc. So this is a great sort of quick 7-minute overview about some of his better title sequences and sort of the general visual style that he employs in all of them, this sort of cut paper, geometric kind of look that he does. Really good incorporation of music, a lot of jazz music. So anyway, something for you to consume, take a look at, and just really sort of help you continue to wrap your head around and be in the right mental space for making your title sequence. Now, to that end, there is nothing due this week. We have nothing due at the end of the week other than your media analysis, of course. But no projects are due at the end of this week. So your homework is to keep working on your draft for step 4 of the semester project. Now, step 4, of course, is to actually build the title sequence itself. So now it's time to start building the thing. Now, you've probably already started it, and remember, a draft, of course, is going to be submitted so that you can get feedback from both myself and your classmates, and then take that feedback and make some edits and changes to it. Be sure to go over step 4 from the project handout just to make sure you're hitting all of the notes. So for example, you have to have a minimum of 10 slides or states for your title sequence, meaning the screen has to change 10 times minimum. You have to include the name of the movie or the TV show and the names of the lead actors. Remember, you're showing the names of the actors, not the characters they play. That's a common mistake. You can include other typographic information, including other individuals, like maybe a producer or a cinematographer or whatever, or organizations, the production company, the distribution company, whatever you'd like. And, of course, you have your collection of photography, graphics, illustration, icons, music, sound effects that you presented from your mood board last time around. So you should have your pile of stuff that you're going to start building the title sequence from, okay? Remember, you're trying to tell a story that is in keeping with and enhances your chosen movie, the genre and the theme. Specifically, it has to make sense for your newly imagined plot summary that you wrote. You know, if you are doing a horror movie, make sure your title sequence isn't like bright, happy colors with flowers. That would make a lot of sense with a horror movie. So visually, it should be telling a story that makes sense with the type of movie that you're working on, or television show. You can apply any sort of visual style that you would like. You know, we spend a lot of time on Saul Bass, like this week. So if you want to go for that sort of cut paper style, that works. If you want to go for something more photographic, you can go black and white, desaturated colors, whatever you would like, but be consistent from slide to slide. Make sure that your visual style makes sense through the whole title sequence, right? Style of photography, use of illustration, color palette. Just make sure that it all works together visually and has a consistent visual style. Speaking of typography, make sure that your type is clean and easy to read. Choose some interesting, make a nice interesting font choice or a couple of fonts. I might even suggest sticking with one font and maybe using a couple of different type styles that come along with the font, you know, bold, italic, semi-bold, etc., just for visual consistency. At this point, you know, you haven't taken a typography class, so when we say good typography, just clean, easy to read, make sure that it visually makes sense with the other elements, right? As long as you're doing that, you're doing good typography. And remember, of course, you can build it using any of these 4 options. This is not a software-based assignment. I'm not grading you on which software you use. You can use anything from beginner level to advanced level. I just want you to use something that you are comfortable with. So building this entire title sequence out of PowerPoint or Keynote or Google Slides, any other type of basic presentation tool is entirely acceptable. So feel free to just use those tools. We do, of course, want to use some of the animation and transition features that are in those software so that we have a little bit of motion going on. However, anything above that, if you already are familiar with that software and are comfortable using it, whether it be Apple iMovie, Adobe Premiere, Final Cut Pro, or even Adobe After Effects, you are free to go in that direction too. But again, it is entirely acceptable to just stick with the basic stuff, okay? I want you to spend the majority of your time making a good, consistent visual story with typography that makes sense for your movie. I am less worried about the software that you use, okay? So make sure you're picking something that makes sense for you. Okay, so that is it for this week. Get your media analysis done, digest this Saul Bass video, and keep plugging away on the draft of your semester project. That, I believe, is due at the end of next week, and we'll be giving each other critiques and presenting those in class, etc., etc. All right, so have a good week. If you need me, feel free to email me. You can drop in on Mondays or Fridays for the Zoom office hours. And other than that, have yourself a good week.